Listen, my children, you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On the 18th of April, 75, hardly a man is now alive that remembers that famous day and year. He said to his friend, if the British march by land or sea from town tonight, hang a lantern aloft in the belfry arch of the old North Church tower as a signal light. One if by land, two if by sea, and on the opposite shore shall be, ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm, for the country folk to be up and to arm. And they said good night with a muffled oar, and silently rowed to the Charlestown shore. Just as the moon rose over the bay, swinging wide her moorings lay, the Somerset British man of war, a phantom ship, every mast and spar, across the moon like a prison bar. Her huge black hulk was magnified by its own reflection in the tide. Meanwhile his friend through alley and street, wandering and watching with eager ears, till in the silence round him he did hear the mustering of men at the barrack door, the sound of arms and the tramp of feet, and the measured tread of grenadiers marching down to their boats on shore. Then he climbed the tower of the old North Church, where the wooden stairs with a stealthy tread, to the belfry chamber overhead. And startling pigeons from their perch on somber rafters round him made masses and moving shapes of shade. For the trembling ladder, steep and tall, to the highest window on the wall. There he paused and listened, looked down a moment on the roofs of the town, in moonlight flowing over all. Beneath in the churchyard lay the dead, in their night encampment on the hill, wrapped in silence so deep and still that he could hear like a sentinel's tread the watchful night wind as it went, creeping along from tent to tent, and seeming to whisper all is well, but for only a moment does he feel the spell. For the place and for the hour and the secret dread, the lonely belfry with the dead. For suddenly all his thoughts were bent to shadowy something far away, just as the river widens to meet the bay, a line of black that bends and flows on the rising tide like a bridge of boats. Meanwhile, impatient to mount and ride, booted and spurred with a heavy stride, now on the opposite shore walked Paul Revere. Now he patted his horse's side. He tightened his he gazed at the landscape far and near, then impetuous stamped the earth and tightened his horse's saddle girth. But mostly he watched with eager search the belfry tower of the old North Church, as it rose above the graves on the hill, lonely, spectral, somber, and still. And lo, there it was, the belfry's height, a glimmer, and then a gleam of light. He springs to the saddle, the bridle he turns, but lingers and gazes so full on his sight. A second lamp in the belfry burns. A hurry of hoofs in a village street, a shape in the moonlight, a bulk in the dark, and beneath from the pebbles and passing a spark, shook out by a steed, fearless and fleet. And that was all, yet in the gloom and in the light, the fate of the nation was riding that night. The spark struck out by that steed in his flight, kindled the land into flame with its heat. He has left the village and mounted the steep. Beneath him tranquil, broad, and deep, is the mystic mean the ocean tides, and under the alders that skirt its edge, now soft on the sand, now loud on the ledge, is heard the tramp of his steed as he rides. It was 12 by the village clock when he crossed the bridge. The redcoats are coming! When he crossed the bridge into Medford town, he heard the crowing of the cock and the barking of the farmer's dog. He felt the damp of the river fog that rises after the sun goes down. It was warned by the village clock when he galloped into Lexington. He saw the gilded weathercock swim in the moonlight as he passed. The meeting house windows blank and bare, gazed at him with a spectral glare, as if they already stood aghast the bloody work they would look upon. It was 2 by the village clock when he came to the bridge in Concord Town. He heard the bleating of the flock and the twitter of birds among the trees. He felt the breath of the morning breeze that blowing over the meadow's brow. And one was safe asleep in his bed. Who at the bridge would be first to fall. Who later that day would be lying dead, pierced by a British musket ball. You know the rest in the books you have read, how the British regulars fired and fled, how the farmers gave them ball for ball, from behind each fence and farmyard wall. How they chased the redcoats down the lane, then crossing the fields to emerge again, and under the trees had to turn the road, and only pausing to fire and load. A voice in the darkness, a knock at the door, a word that shall echo forevermore, for born on the night wind of the past, through all our history to the last. Hoop, hoop. For the hour of darkness, peril and need, people will awaken to listen and hear the hurrying hoofbeats of that steed and the midnight message of Paul Revere.